Hey introverts, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about something that's been bothering me and something that I've been working on as an introvert, but also trying to figure out how to keep moving forward and stay on this path that I'm currently on right now, which is um, my company, the quiet edge, why I'm doing it, why I continue to want to make these videos and put them on my YouTube channel, why I have a website, why I want to coach people to help them, leverage what they have as an introvert and then make better careers, make better career decisions, get what they want in their careers, or start something on their own, right? And the hardest thing about doing all of this is facing fear in terms of critics and what they're going to say for anything that you post, because now more than ever we are in a place where we have social media, and as soon as we post something, it's much easier for someone to critique you, criticize you, call you out for saying something wrong, or maybe misquoting something, getting some statistics wrong, whatever it may be. It's a lot easier for people to be negative and make comments rather than sometimes agreeing and even supporting you with whoever it is, whatever they're posting, whatever they're trying to do. It's much easier to be a critic. And what I've learned over the past few years of me trying to work on myself so then I can understand what's going on, and then my goal is to turn that around and teach others. That's what I do with all of my videos that I'm posting. But what I thought was interesting is today on my drive home, I listened to the latest podcast from Modern Wisdom, and Chris had his friend on, Zach, and they were talking about how everything you want is on the other side of cringe. They talk about all kinds of things because they're friends on it, but what I took from that podcast was it's people are calling out cringe all the time, left and right, no matter what it is. And because it goes back to what I just said before, it's easier for people to be critics. And the only thing that we can continue to do, if we really believe in something and we want to make an impact and we want to help others, is, especially for me, and especially for me being an introvert, is I have to keep moving forward. I have to keep making content. I have to keep posting. I have to keep trying to reach out to people, because I feel like that's going to be more important than having all of these ideas in my head and then not doing anything about it. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video, is how, as introverts, we can take this feedback and criticism, and instead of looking at it in a space where traditionally us as introverts, we take things deeply, right? We take it to heart. But I don't want you to take it so far that you either run away, you shut down, or you get into this place where you can't sleep for the next couple nights because you just keep replaying this interaction with someone that gave you criticism, or sometimes some harsh feedback. Sometimes it's good feedback that you need to hear. So I'm gonna show you 3 different things that you can work on, that I'm working on currently. And then I'm going to show you one thing at the very end, which is more so like a mindset shift of how to take this in and then use it to make the whole situation a lot lighter. So let's get into it. All right, so let's get into the first one that I want to talk about for what we can do with criticism and feedback. And the first one is utilizing our reflective nature. That reflective nature could be something that we can use to our advantage. And what I mean by that in terms of receiving feedback or criticism is taking a second to pause. I encourage you to pause rather than look for a quick reaction or even becoming defensive at the first sign of you receiving feedback or criticism. And I'm going to come from this and in terms of a place of receiving feedback or criticism from a boss, right? Someone of senior status in your workplace. But you could relate this to a lot of different places in your life with different individuals. It could be a close friend. It could be, more of an acquaintance. It could be a coworker. It could be a family member. It doesn't really matter. Just know that as I go through this video, I'm thinking about it in terms of us as individuals, as contributors in a workplace, and then having that boss. And this is where that feedback or criticism is coming from. So take a second to pause. Don't feel like you need to say something right away. When you take a pause, your boss is also probably not going to say anything right away either after they give you that initial feedback. So if they say something like, "Yeah, the presentation that you sent me was unclear," okay, you can be defensive and be like, "Well, what do you mean?" Right? "No, I thought it was perfectly fine." Where's that going to get you? If we want to learn and grow and get better over time, even make career moves, get promotions, right? There could be something there in that criticism. So try pausing for a second or two and then say, "Thank you for bringing that up. Let me take some time to review it again." Right? So that's one potential thing that we can all work on. The next one I want to talk about is something that can be positive, but it's also a negative, and it depends on what you do with it, right? With many things in life and in your personality. But when we as introverts, right, we're going to take things personally, more personally than other types of personalities, and we're going to take it deeper. But what I want you to focus on when you are receiving this feedback or this criticism is I want you to focus on what was the product that you submitted. All right, what was that paper, the presentation, the artwork, content, whatever it is. What is it that you turned in that is receiving the feedback? Because that's what's being criticized, right? That is what your boss is seeing, and that's what they are reacting to. They are not criticizing you as an individual. So this is going to take a while, and I'm still working on this too, because I catch myself on a weekly basis of, okay, it's not me, right? Sure, there's probably some things that I can work on, but in this context, right? If I'm submitting something that's not up to their standards, right, then I need to focus on, okay, what did I do? What did I submit that is not up to par, so to speak, and is not a reflection of me as an individual. The third thing that we can do is start asking for clarifying questions. We're naturally reflective. We're going to look at things that we submitted. We're going to be looking at this feedback that we are just now getting and starting to comprehend. Right? We're pausing. We're not being defensive right away. We're trying to separate the work from us as the individual. But now we want to figure out, what do we do from here? And that's where this third step comes in, when we ask clarifying questions. And wherever this feedback or criticism is coming from, they obviously have a different way of looking at what you turned in. And so ask them, what are some ways that I could make this better? What do you have in mind that could improve my presentation? What are some things that you think would make this more clear or easier to understand? So we create two outcomes here. One, we get clarity. We have a direction that we can go down. There's a path. I can see where I need to go. These are the things that my boss in this case wants me to work on. Okay, that can help me, especially with me being an engineer, shocker, and an introvert, and being a leader of other engineers and introverts. Right? I can appreciate and understand how having direction and something to shoot for is very beneficial to continue moving forward rather than feeling like I'm stuck. But two, especially if it's your boss, it shows that, right, you're open to ideas and that you're being professional about it because you want to grow, and this is not something that is ultimately a personal attack, right? This is something about the work that you have submitted. It is not about you as an individual. All right, and the last one that I talked about at the very beginning, and this is the mindset shift. So when we are receiving this feedback or this criticism, I want you to know that this is not a threat. It's more like free coaching. And the reason I say it's like free coaching is, one, you obviously didn't pay for it, but your boss has different opinions sometimes. And there could be something there in that feedback. And it's up to you to take that coaching and either shape it into something that you want to use, or you can pick it apart and choose what you want to use, and then you can throw away the rest. But none of this is mandatory, right? This is you're receiving feedback, and it's up to you to make a decision about whether or not you want to do something about it. Do you want to get better at this certain task? Is it something that you know you're not very strong in, so you submitted it knowing that there might need to be something that you need to correct? Did you perhaps think going into it that this was going to be a home run, so you weren't expecting any feedback? Which, I'm sorry to say, that happens all the time, right? You're going to get some sort of feedback, no matter how skilled you are at a certain topic, right? How experienced you are, whoever you are submitting this to, right? That individual is always going to see things differently. They're going to have different opinions, and part of excelling in the workplace and being part of, ultimately, in larger corporations too, there's going to be politics and bureaucracy. So how do you play the game? How do you submit the work that needs to be submitted, that it ultimately becomes a positive that can be passed on to different areas of the company, that's either getting promotions, or being talked about when you're not in the room, right? These are all the things that play into it. And this one video is just one aspect of how it all incorporates into the larger workplace life path, I'll say, for now, for lack of a better term. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to share in today's video. If I gave you, of these four, right, three tools and a mindset shift, if there's one of those things that you think that you can use in this next week, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you think that this could be helpful to another introvert, please share this video link to others inside of your circle that you know that might benefit from this. I'm also going to post a comment down below, and I'll pin it to the top, and so that will just help drive some interaction in the comment section, because that'll also help the video grow, and that works with the ever-changing YouTube algorithm. So until next time, everybody, bye.